everybody, Joe Cool here from Joe Cool Refit. Glad you could be with us today. We are talking about MACNA 2019 that just happened. We're also talking about what I picked up and what I was looking for. So let's get right to it. When I went to MACNA this year, I wanted to see what was available for a quieter and more efficient skimmer. Well, I went around quite a few booths, was walking around, and I saw this massive skimmer up in the air, and I was just looking at it, and I was looking at the build quality of it, and said to myself, I said, doesn't look like it's that great. Maybe it's something they just started building, not sure. But then off in the distance, I saw this big setup with a couple of decent sized skimmers, more industrial commercial looking, and it was from RK2 systems. Now, they had a smaller system that's rated from 1,000 to 2,000 gallons, smaller skimmer. And for me, functional or industrial looking is more interesting looking to me. I personally do not have a bunch of plumbing and stuff that's super exciting to look at that I want to just be showing everybody, or everybody's going to see it. It's in my living room. It's in the room behind my tank, which we are in now, and I currently have the system hooked up over here, which I'll show you in just a moment, and then I'll also show you some comparisons with the old skimmer that I had. So anyways, I walked over there and I talked to this gentleman named Tim. We got to talking a while. I said, you know, I've really been looking for a skimmer. They had one they've been showing for a while. It's a brand new size. Generally they're 10 feet tall, and they made one that's half the height, and they started offering it up. So aside from business dealing and all that, I got a good deal on it, and I decided to go with them because I wasn't looking for something real fancy looking. I definitely didn't want needle wheel pumps. Thing I feel about needle wheel pumps is that it's a lot of hard pressure on the pump head itself, the shaft, and the impeller itself. You know, you got to keep replacing that stuff over time. So I actually went with this skimmer. It's actually a foam fractionator, and it has a venturi in it. And let me show it to you. Okay, here we have the RK2 systems, RK5AC. They actually just moved. They're not in San Diego, but they're still in California. So if you're looking at the label right there, this skimmer is completely made in America. All the plumbing is scheduled 80 that comes with it. This skimmer features a Ecotech Vectra L2 with a quiet driver. Also featuring a 1-inch venturi. Has a 1/2-inch air intake with a metered airflow meter, which you can barely even hear. Also has a port off to the side right there for ozone, which I most likely won't need to use anymore. The base in the upper part features HDPE, which is bonded very well to acrylic. As far as I know, they're the first company to do it nicely, or as smoothly as this. As you can see, the flange between the HDPE and the other acrylic chamber is very secure. It's got double seals. Also has a unique wedge system down inside to help push the fractionated foam up the top. A screw-on lid with a 1/2-inch port in it that you can exhaust the air outside or to where you need to if you're using ozone. Let's move this foam out of the way. Inside, as you can see, they have a built-in system to hold on to the foam while it's being pushed up, so you get all the foam out you can possibly get. Also has a 1-inch drain on the other side, which I have run into a 5-gallon container with a float switch in it for the Skimmer. Let me get this lid back on. Now, this skimmer started making skimmate just like this within about 10 minutes of using it, and I'm actually running the feed line about 3.5 times higher than optimal contact time, and this is just because my DC feed pump, even though set at its lowest setting, cannot go that low. So I am waiting on a gate valve to come today. This is the Apex flow meter, a 2-inch that I have plumbed into it, so I can monitor the speed at which I'm feeding the skimmer. Then of course I have the 1.5-inch drain going into the sump here. Now, I'd like to say that this thing, once it's running at its full contact time, should be absolutely amazing, and the amount of skimmate that it makes. I know that it's a very industrial looking skimmer, but this thing's a beast. Alright, okay, so now I've showed you the skimmer. You say to yourself, well, that thing's insane, it's a beast. I say, well, I know I only have 687 gallons of water in this tank. If you've been following along, this display here that I'm touching is 49 inches by 72, and the sump below it's just about the same size. There's sections of it that I can lay in. You know, I can sit down in with my knees bent, but I can sit down inside it and be inside the sump completely. I got this skimmer because I wanted something that's quiet, which it really is, especially compared to the ASM G6X that I was running, and for the size and what it will do, it's absolutely amazing. Now, is it overkill? I don't think so, because I mean, technically it could possibly be rated for 600 to 2,000 gallons. They are listing it for 1,000 to 2,000 gallons, depending on stocking. Well, I'm always a firm believer that the more fish you have, the more you feed them, the more they poop, the faster your corals grow, because the corals love fish poop. Just saying. So, if you're interested in the RK5AC, or they have some new X-Flow series, which are smaller systems, skimmers, made for, you know, smaller tanks, not 687 gallons worth, but they do have a couple of skimmers that are for smaller size tanks. I go to RK2.com and check out this skimmer and the other skimmers. They also sell UV systems, real UV systems that will actually work, and they'll work with you to get the proper UV system in order for you to have success. Them ones you generally buy online, some of them might be great, but you don't really know what you're getting, or you're not really able to kill what you want to with the UV light. So contact Tim over at RK2 Systems at RK2.com, or Tim at RK2.com, and he'd be glad to discuss either this skimmer or the X-Flow UVs. And if you are a bigger customer, if you have a coral farm, coral store, fish store, aquarium, like real aquarium, like Florida aquarium, or thousands and thousands of gallons, they do make those skimmers too. And that's how they got into skimmers like this, is they make huge ones that you and I can run around inside. They're so big. So anyways, hope you like my new skimmer. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And the skimmer, once again, is a RK5 AC, and I got it from RK2 Systems, and you can view them on the web at rk2.com. And hope you have a great day. Check out my next video. We'll talk more about some of the stuff I got at MACNA. I really just wanted to highlight this phenomenal skimmer that I got, and we'll go from there.